get started. So happy to introduce two guys that we signed, and Drew and Dayo. With Drew, it'll be hard to explain his game better than Grady did yesterday. I thought he did a fantastic job explaining who Drew is as a football player. But I'm excited about him, just his ability to reach, cut off, work in the outside zone scheme, get to the second level, as well as be really a good partner inside to the guards in pass pro. His addition, along with Joe and Jonah, is really going to make the interior of our offensive line strong. So we're excited about that. And then with Dayo, his ability to play the run and rush the passer from different locations, outside, inside, is, again, going to make our defensive line even better. With both these guys, the same as yesterday, fantastic players, but even better human beings and people. Did a lot of work on our background, making sure that they fit what we want in terms of our culture. And they do exactly that. They're going to enhance what we got going on and make our locker room even better than what it is today. So excited for both those guys to come onto our team. I'll open up to questions.
Ryan, with the pass rush, as you try to stack up the defensive line, and you have Montez already, what is the best case scenario with this group? How do you see this playing out if everything works out the way you're envisioning?
Yeah, an improved pass rush. You can't have enough pass rushers on your team. But for this first group, to be able to line the different alignments, to be relentless, get the quarterback off the spot. Again, Grady kind of hit on all those topics yesterday. But for that part of our game, and we all watched the Super Bowl, right? Like, you want to have waves of pass rushers. So if all of those guys are getting better and they're working together, I really think we can affect the passer, and therefore it's going to put our team in a really good position.
Is the pass rush still a group that you're looking to add to?
Like I said, you can't have enough pass rushers. We're always looking to add and improve that group. But I feel good about where we are today.
Hey, Ryan, the sack numbers don't necessarily pop off the page with Dayo. What is it that you're projecting or hoping for or seeing in him in terms of being that guy opposite of Montez Sweat?
Yeah, if you watch the tape, you understand how disruptive he can be. And again, both inside and outside. And I also believe, he's 25. He's played a few years in the league. I honestly, and this goes into our collaboration and working well in terms of front office and coaching staff. We believe that there's even more room to grow for him to continue to get better. I think it's really cool he gets to come here and play for Jeremy, our defensive line coach, who, they work together while they're in Vanderbilt as well. So.
Ryan, with a lot of unpredictability of what could happen, but with Drew, was he somebody that you had targeted long ago, saying like that's going to be someone we're going after immediately? Yeah,
so as our pro staff puts our free agent board together, I often throughout the season kind of take a peek at it as I kind of forecast forward. And his name popped up and put tape on, and he was definitely someone that was at the very, very top of our list. We knew how important that was going to be. Again, what makes you even more convicted and it allows us to be aggressive and going and get a player in free agency is when we have alignment. So having Dan and Kyle and Coach lined up with a vision and fit in the role, we felt really good about being aggressive to get Drew here.
Ryan, as you interact with free agents and potential free agents or potential signees this week, what is your sense of what Caleb has done to make this an appealing place to come?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's excited about where Caleb can go. We all know that there's a lot of growth that has to happen to get him to where he needs to be. But that excitement in terms of what he can be, obviously, helps get other coaches and players excited to be here and work with him and help get him to where he needs to be.
Ben, do you see that too?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he put a lot of good stuff on tape last year, and I think everyone recognizes that as they see the crossover tape and they're watching that each week. So, listen, we got a lot of really strong building blocks to get this thing going in the right direction.
Ben, it's been about 7 weeks since you got here. Can you take us through kind of what's left an impression on you about sharing your vision, unifying it with Ryan, and then obviously these last 2 weeks, turning it into action to get pieces that you want?
Yeah, I mean, we spent time every single day since I've been in the building, just me and him with his group, me with my group, and it's been between the scheme, talking about prototypes and what that looks like for each position group. That's me sitting in with some of the preliminary draft meetings and getting a feel for how they operate. I've got a lot of respect for his crew, that group of scouts. They've done a phenomenal job this fall collecting information and really starting to set that board for when it is time to pick those players. I feel strongly about that process, and it's been a day-by-day, week-by-week process getting on the same page, but it's been very good so far.
With Drew specifically, when you watch his tape, what are the things as a center that appeal to you the most?
Yeah, well, I talked about intelligence, and that's, I think at that spot is critical. He's going to be the quarterback of our offensive line. He'll be setting the protections and the run game for us, something he's done in his past, and I think we can put even more on his plate than what he's been exposed to previously, and so I'm excited about that. He's still learning. He's still growing as a player, so he has not hit his ceiling yet either. He's already asked me several times, what did you see on tape that I can get better at? And so that's the type of person we're getting. He just sees this as the next step as in his growth, and I think that's going to translate to the rest of the room as well. We have some young talented players. I said to him earlier today that you usually play with 8 or 9 guys over the course of the season, so it's not just the starting group that needs to be gelled, but we have some depth players, some young guys that may or may not be in the building right now that we're going to be counting on, and he's going to help spearhead that charge in terms of getting everyone ready to play on Sunday.
Ben, I was actually asked a similar question, so I'll tweak it a little bit. Like in the eyes of kind of marrying the center with the quarterback, how do you envision Drew and having sort of a veteran presence there, stability at that position, helping Caleb in terms of what he's seen at the line of scrimmage and beyond?
Yeah, to me, those two positions, they work together, and so at the line, we'll kind of see what direction we want to take this offense. Is it going to be more of a perfect play mentality where we have multiple calls and we're getting to the right thing, or are we trying to play with more tempo? There's a lot of different directions we can go, and that's why we just need to get the guys in here so we can get started with that process. But those two guys need to see the game the same way. Much like I was talking about, the quarterback needs to see the game through the play caller's eyes. Same thing with the quarterback in the center position, between the run game, making sure the perimeter unit is locked in with what the core is doing, and then in pass pro, everyone needs to know where our issues are so that we're not getting stuck in some bad situations. That this day and age, I think the hardest problems defenses give us is schematically in the pass rush game, the blitz pickup and those things, particularly on third down. And so I feel strongly that Drew is going to have the acumen to be able to help us out and problem solve. There's unscouted looks each and every week that as long as you understand the rules of protection, we can figure it out, but everything's happening quickly. So it's a fun challenge, and I know Drew and Caleb are looking to grow together that way.
And along those same lines, when you look at the entirety of the offensive line that's coming together here, a lot of new pieces in place, how do you as coaches and your coaching staff, you as the head coach, make that transition easy for them, make the gelling process easier on them?
It shouldn't be easy. This should be hard. The spring should be hard. Training camp should be hard. Anything worth doing is hard. So it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of effort. In particular, year one, we should not be comfortable as we're coming into the springtime. We're going to load these guys up. We're going to see what they can handle. We're going to fail, and that's okay. That's part of how you learn and how you grow and you get better. And so we're going to encourage that as a coaching staff. So nothing about this is about making it easier. So, yeah, it's going to be fun.
Ryan, when you talk to agents throughout this process and then some of the players you've been allowed to talk to, what's the impact you think of Ben in terms of the interest that people have in terms of the scheme and just being a part of this with him as the head coach?
Yeah, I think it's very similar to, the question you asked about Caleb. There's a lot of excitement working with Ben, seeing the body of work that he had in Detroit and see that grow to what it became is exciting. You want to be a part of exciting football. You want to be a part of scoring a lot of points. You want to be a part of creativity and doing things that are a little bit different. That's fun. That's fun to work in that environment. Obviously, like you said, there's going to be some of those foundational things you got to put together that are tough, but what this can be is really exciting, and a lot of people want to be a part of that.